All right, interview. Making sure I remember what this even is, but I look for it later. All right, so for everyone listening, could you please say what your name is and what you're here for?
My name is Shawn McGee, and I am here to be interviewed for my happenings in stand-up comedy.
YOLO!
What first got you into comedy?
Well, the thing that first got me into comedy was, I don't really know. I mean, I started, I always watched, Comedy Central specials and stuff like that when I was home. And, it was a good thing to do when I was homesick and I didn't want to go to school. Because I would just pop on Comedy Central and I would fall asleep listening to people tell jokes and stuff like that. And then, when I started doing comedy, it was just kind of like a crazy, just kind of sequence of events was... there's a local place around here where one of my friends stumbled into one night while drunk, and he found out that they had comedy, and he liked it, and so he invited me back one night, and we both got drunk. And then at the end of the night, there weren't many people doing it. There was only 4 comedians, and so at the end of the night, they're just does anybody else want to try this? And he got up and tried it, and I was drunk enough to the point where I went up and tried it as well. I got really good feedback for it, and I just haven't stopped since. So.
Cool.
Yeah.
So how was that first night? Did you feel nervous at all or anything?
Well, the first night I wasn't really nervous just because, as I said, I had been drinking. And so that kind of helped things out a lot. And, also I wasn't really nervous just because, people's number one fear is, public speaking, and I guess I've never shared in that fear. I've never had a problem just getting up in front of people and talking. It doesn't bother me, so.
What would you say would be your one of your biggest inspirations for comedy? What's another comedian that you just take a lot of cues from, so to speak?
Well, I would say one of my bigger inspirations would definitely be Mitch Hedberg. I love Mitch Hedberg's outlook on life and just kind of where some of his jokes just come out of crazy stuff that you would never even think of. I love that, and another inspiration I guess would be Rodney Dangerfield. I love listening to Rodney Dangerfield's stuff, especially the No Respect stuff. It's just something I grew up with, and I love that a lot. So I guess those two would probably be the bigger influences.
I'm trying to think of where to go with this now. I'm hitting all these questions so quick. All right, well, okay, so let's say you keep going to this comedy thing for a while. Where do you see yourself here in a year or two? Or even longer than that? Do you see this being a pretty long-term career here?
Yeah, well, I mean, definitely in 5 years or so, I would see myself still doing it. I don't... right now, I don't really have any kind of, delusions of grandeur or anything like that, being the next Louis C.K. Honestly, right now, I just have fun doing it. I would love to make a little money doing it. Right now, I think I probably make I make probably $30 a week or $30 a month doing it. So maybe a little more to get me out of the crappy job that I have now. Because in all honesty, that's one of the most humbling things about doing this is I'll go out and I'll have a set and for 30 or 40 people, they're all laughing and they're having a good time, and they all buy me drinks afterwards, and it's somewhat of a celebrity status. And then the next day you go back to slinging fried chicken for people who treat you like shit because you serve them their food.
God, I hate that job.
It is an awful job.
Okay, so what are some of your favorite bits that you like to do? What's some of the ones that you always go back to?
Well, one of my favorite bits that I have, or at least one that I think has been the most well-received, is I do some jokes about my grandmother dying and just, how people didn't know how to, people don't like death. It's something that they don't like a lot, and so that's why I like to make fun of it. And so, like, when she died, people didn't know how to handle me, and I thought that was incredibly funny. And especially, like, because some people get, like, incredibly uneasy when you're dealing with death, or when somebody's dealing with death, and it's just, like, one of those kind of, like, compassion things where it's like, I don't want to upset you, but I don't really know how to deal with this kind of thing. You know, so it's like one of the bits was, I was talking, it's like, yeah, so my grandmother died, so I went into work, and I told them, like, hey, I'm going to have to miss a couple weeks because, you know, my grandmother died. And they're like, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't know. It's like, yeah, I know you didn't know. That's why I just told you. If you had known, I would have been creeped out. Like, did you sign up for that newsletter? Because I didn't. Are you sleeping with my grandmother? Like, I would have been more freaked out if they did know. So, yeah. Like, there's more on that one, too.
Yeah.
Actually, yeah.
Yeah, I've heard that. I think I've heard that one quite a few times.
Yeah, you've heard that one quite a few times. Like I said, that's one of my go-tos. Like, whenever I'm working a new room, or whenever, you know, whenever I can't really feel out a crowd, I usually do that, because, you know, it's like, if you think the crowd's somewhat hostile, and then it's like, oh, my grandmother just died, they'll kind of be like, oh, and then you go into the jokes, because it kind of brings them on your side, and so it softens up a hard crowd, or if it's a new room that you're feeling uneasy, and it's tried and true and tested, so I know it works.
So do you have any, like, weird stories of stuff that's happened when you've been trying to do something? Like, any, like, weird gigs that you've done, or just really bad places to have been?
Yeah, one of the worst places that I ever got asked to do, it was when I first started out. I had probably been doing comedy for maybe, like, 4 months. And one of my old friends from back when I was at Kirkwood, he came in and he just happened to see the show. And, like, it was a good show, and it was another bit that I like. It's called the Turtle Bit, where basically I make fun of myself for being fat. And, like, I don't know if you know what turtling is, but it's something that's common in fat people where, like, your skin and your fat, like, envelopes your manhood, and it becomes this, and it's like a turtle head going into its shell. And so that's the set that I did. And then so my friend comes up to me after the set, and he's just like, hey man, that was really good. I'm actually work for this place up in Cedar Rapids called Groundswell, and we're starting to do an open mic. It's usually a lot of music and stuff like that. But if you'd like, I'd like to get more comedy in there. So if you'd like to come up there and do maybe like 10 to 15 minutes, that would be great. And I'm like, oh yeah, sure, I'll definitely do that. He's like, but just to let you know, it's a clean set, so can you do clean material? And it's like, well, I just got done talking to my penis on stage. But I think I can do a clean set, because, you know, when you start off like that, you know, no show is a bad show until you realize it's a bad show. And, like, so, you know, it was like a week or two later, and, like, I Googled the place to find out where it was. It's like, oh, Groundswell, it's like a recreational facility, like a crappier YMCA. That's cool. And so I go there, and I walk in the door, and it's nothing but, like, 14 and 15-year-old kids with their parents. And, like, at that point, like, I didn't have enough material that I could even come close to entertaining those kids and have them get it. Because most of the stuff that I did early on were just, like, me talking to my penis or drunk stories. You know, just stupid crap I've done when I've been drunk. So, yeah, I just kind of walked out and didn't do that show. I didn't even, like, I saw my friend there, I didn't even say hi to him. I just, you know, I walked in, I saw all these little kids running around, and then I just left. So, yeah, I think that was probably one of the worst ones. I don't know, one of the other ones that was kind of weird. And, like, a lot of times, like, I hate going up in between bands. Like, I've done it a couple times, and it's awful because everybody's there. Everybody is just there just to listen to the band. And, like, I did this show because it was sponsored by the local radio station, because it was a going-away party for one of their radio personalities. So I did it because I got to hear my name on the radio. And so that's the reason why I did the show. And the radio personality was a friend of mine, I guess. But, like, I go there, and I get up to do my set, and as soon as the band stops, everybody starts talking. And they're just loud, and they're obnoxious, and I've got maybe 5 to 6 people listening to me. Right? And so I've got a couple jokes where, like, I get loud and, like, I yell. So I use those jokes to try and get people to listen. Because if there's somebody yelling over top of you, then people are going to stop. And if I yell over top and then I get them to laugh, then chances are they're going to laugh at me. They're going to listen more. So I do those jokes, and then I've got maybe, like, another 10 to 15 people listening to me. And as soon as I do that, somebody else walks into the bar. They just entered the bar. They shout across the front of the stage to the bartender because they know each other or something like that. And then the bartender yells back, and this is like the door's right to the left of the stage, the bar is right to the right of the stage, and it's right in front. And so it's like I finally get people, then some other jackass yells, then the jackass bartender yells back, and I lose everybody again after I had gotten them back. It was just like, wow, this is crappy.
I'm having such a hard time trying not to laugh so I can don't interrupt your story. Yeah.
No, it's fine.
Go ahead. Because otherwise it's hard to edit that out.
Go ahead. Laugh as you will, because this is what I'm supposed to do. I
know. It's just, for editing purposes, it's just a pain in the ass trying to get my laughter out and make sure I get all your stuff. Man, that's I love that one. That's great.
Oh, that's such a bad show. I got done with that, and I'm like, I'm out of here. I hate these people so much right now. Yeah. And luckily, I have not had anything in the way of like hecklers or anything like that. Like at the yacht club, there's one like drunken like standard heckler that's there. But he's not even really that bad. He's not really heckling as in, like, he's trying to disrupt a show or something like that. He's just drunk in the back going, man, I like you. You're funny, man. And he's there every Monday. It's entertaining.
I'm trying to think where to go with this next. Okay, that was a lot of stuff in just 10 minutes there.
Yeah, that was yeah.
Okay, so what are some other bits you got? You're currently working on? Like, what's some things you got kind of in the works if you don't mind sharing?
Oh yeah, like I'm trying to think of more for this one because right now it's just a one-liner and I kind of like to extrapolate it and it's just like I hate in parking ramps how after the third, like on the fourth and fifth floor, they still have handicap parking right at the front. Because I mean, face it, once you get past the third floor, like that's an amusement park ride for those guys. They shit, they're wheeling themselves down. Like that's one I would like to do. I want to do more with that one. What was one of the other ones? Oh, another kind of one-liner is talking about shower sex. And it's like I hate having shower sex because once you get in there, there's no position that's really good. And the only one that I can figure out that works is like we're both on our knees. But then that sucks because then the shower faucet's in the wrong way because the one way she's getting the shower faucet in her face and I get jealous very easily. And the other way is that shower faucet is poking me in the ass and I'm scared by how much I like it.
Oh god.
There's that one. Let's see, a couple new bits that I don't think you've heard that I've been working on, or that I tried out probably just like a week ago, is like one of my friends is telling me that I should watch The Vampire Diaries. And I refuse to watch The Vampire Diaries just because I know that it's a crappy ripoff of Twilight, and that's what it was supposed to be. And so I'm talking to my friend, I'm like, I'm not gonna watch Twilight, or I'm not gonna watch some crappy other poorly written version of Twilight. And he's like, no, but the vampires are actually badass in this. I'm like, no. You know how I know those vampires aren't badass? They have fucking diaries. And then he tries to counter off. He's like, yeah, they have diaries, but like, there's a lot of sex. It's like watching softcore porn. And it's like, no, you know what? I don't care. The Diary of Anne Frank is more tittillating than the Vampire Diaries. I would rather watch that. I would rather read that than have to watch this shitty show. That's kind of more ranty, though. I think.
Rants can be good, though. Rants can be fun if you know the right direction for them.
Yeah. When's that one? And then, this one I actually really like, and I think it went over well. Was that, like, I hate going to libraries. Because you go to the library, I only read when I'm taking a shit. And so if I only read while I'm taking a shit, everybody else only reads while they're taking a shit. So those books inside the library are filthy. But I did have to go to the library not too long ago because my internet was down. So I decided to check out some National Geographics, to do things. And it sucked too because all the pages in the National Geographic were stuck together. I could thumb through the National Geographic in 3 big chunks, which sucks because then I'm left with somebody else's bee porn. Which I'm not sure if you've ever noticed how humiliating it is to jerk off to somebody else's bee porn. So I went to go look to see who had the book last, so I could yell at him and be like, "Clean up after yourself." And then I realized that it was my father. And then we had a moment. and then it kind of goes on, and I do a couple other jokes. Usually a lot of dating jokes, some that you've heard before.
Yeah.
Like about how I tried online dating and like it sucks. And one of the things that they say on online dating is that they ask you what one of the most personal things you're willing to admit is. And one person said she had first-hand experience with a shocker. And while she hasn't messaged me back yet, I have been practicing at work going, "Hi, how can I help you?" There you go. And since they can't see me, they would know that my finger's in the form of a shocker right now. But, and so then I do that, and it's like, so I do the next best thing, which is I order a hooker, but then the hooker gets there, and I get nervous, and I don't actually want to have sex with her because I can't get it up because, it's embarrassing. But it's okay, but I get to sign her guest book anyways. And right above my name is my father's name, and we have another moment. And so, like, that's a lot better when it's, like, separated by, like, 10 minutes and people forget about it the first time. Yeah, just touching moments with my family.
So you got your comedy routine pretty much done with like a good set there, a good science going.
I don't know. Well, I don't know. I mean, I don't think that I have it down to like a good science because I still work shit out, and I should probably ask. Is it okay if I swear?
Oh, fuck yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah, well, I don't have it worked down to a science because like I still go and I try shit out, and I still have a lot of stuff that bombs. But it's always I just always want to keep writing because I go to the yacht club almost every Monday, probably 3 Mondays out of a month if there are 4 Mondays in it, and like every time I go there I try and have at least 5 minutes worth of new material every week that I go there. And so a lot of it's not having it down to a science. It's just like I have so much of it that this is what I found out works, and this stuff I'm still working on. So, no, it's not even close to being down to a science. It's just,
Still, you're more skilled than a lot of people I've seen, so I mean...
well, thank you. Thank you. I don't know, there's a lot of people down there that I would consider better than I am. But, that's also one of the things that keeps me working on it, is, I see some of the other guys who, like, I come up with 5 minutes every week, and there are some guys who come up with a whole new 10-minute set every week. And, it's like, I can't write that much, but they do. And so that's kind of one of the things that keeps me writing my 5 minutes every week. Just seeing them do it. So.
Okay, going back to another question. I asked you what your worst experience was. What would you say one of your best experiences is going into comedy and whatnot?
I would say there are 2 things that stick out to me as my best experiences. The first one is because, like, my grandmother only died a year ago. Like, that actually happened. So that's real shit that I dealt with. And that's just how I deal with it. The first thing that probably really stuck with me is I actually did those jokes in front of my family. So, like, my aunt, my mom, my dad, and a couple of my brothers. And, like, I thought my parents were going to be upset about it. And my mom's like, that was really clever. And that was really good. And then my aunt was just like, that was very well done and incredibly a very respectful joke. And so, because like the whole thing with my grandmother is probably like a 10-minute bit in itself. And so they liked that, which was cool. The other thing that I would say would probably be one of the best instances that stuck in my mind was just a random night down at the yacht club. I was there, and I got done doing a set, and it was the end of the night, and a lot of times people smoke outside the yacht club and stuff like that, so you get a lot of audience members talking with the comics and stuff like that. And so I was just hanging out outside, and somebody came up to me and one of the other guys, and one of the other comedians, a comedian by the name of Jake Fevra, who's really good. He's one of the guys that writes 10 minutes every week, and he's been like, I don't think he and I started out at the same time, but like he and I have been going there for the longest now, besides the MC. Like me, him, and like 4 other people have been going there for the longest. And like this guy comes up to us too, and he's like, "Hey man, I just gotta tell you this because this meant a lot to me. Because like I didn't even want to come out today because my dad just went into a coma today and he's having all these problems, and I didn't even want to come out, but my friends dragged me out because I wasn't in a good place, and I came out here and you guys made me laugh, and for the time that I was here, I had a great time, even though all this stuff is there, even though all this stuff happened to me today, and so thank you. You guys just completely changed my day around, and now tomorrow I'll have to go back and deal with this. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, those are the moments that are like probably the best ones. I just love hearing that kind of stuff from people.
Exactly. I mean, that's just like, where else are you gonna get that? Nobody's ever come up to me and said, "Hey, I wanted to tell you that this was the greatest goddamn piece of chicken I have ever had, and it completely changed my day." Like that has never actually happened at anything else I've done. So,
Unfortunately.
Yeah, unfortunately. And especially since this was something that to start with, I never thought of it as like a viable thing, and then like stuff like this happens, and it just kind of changes the outlook on that too. It's like wow, this actually not trying to sound overly pretentious, but it's like, man, this actually means something to people. I don't know.
You have to say that laughter's best medicine, right?
Yeah, right? I mean, yeah, exactly. That's one of the things that I love too, especially because I have an ongoing debate with my roommate, and that's because there's a lot of controversy over Daniel Tosh. Several months ago, there was controversy over him using rape jokes, and there's always been this huge controversy over rape jokes, and it's one of the things that I get in an argument with my roommate, because he's it's devaluing the experience of the person who's actually been raped, is what he says. And it's yeah, I understand that, but at the same time, different people cope through different things. So if I can help somebody cope by laughing at what happened to them, then yeah, I'm going to do that.
So would you say then that there's no topic that's off limits?
I wouldn't say there's no topics that are off limits, but I mean, delicate situations you have to go to, and you have to be smart about it. Because the thing with Daniel Tosh is he wasn't, the way it's portrayed from the girl in her experience is that he was telling people in the audience to rape her. I don't know if you've read it or anything like that, but that's basically what I got from it, is that he's telling people in the audience to rape her. Now, that's not funny. Because the reason that I'm saying this is because when you make distasteful jokes like that, you have to worry about a power dynamic. Because you see a person in a wheelchair get pushed down some stairs. That's not funny, right? But if you take the person in the wheelchair and you see him in a position where he's exerting power over somebody who he is normally powerless against, people love that, and people eat that up, so it's a power dynamic. So the thing that Daniel Tosh said, all the guys have the power, because women in that situation, he's telling 5 guys to rape 1 girl. She doesn't have the power in that situation. But I actually have a rape joke that I use where the joke is basically that I got date raped by an ex-girlfriend. And it was the first, because I say, it's the first time I ever tried weed, and I had to be so drunk to try weed for the first time that as soon as I took a puff, I blacked out. I black back in, and my ex-girlfriend is naked, I'm naked, and she's riding on top of me. And the first thought in my mind is, holy shit, you can date rape a guy. And that, that gets some laughs. I'm not going to say it's funny, because I don't, I think it's funny, but I don't know what other people think. But, that's because I'm a guy, and typically I have the power, and I didn't have the power, and that was taken away from me because of my own actions. And so, so since I didn't have the power, she did. That's what's made, in my mind, that's what makes it funny. So I think that, I don't say that there's nothing off limits. I think you can make fun of everything, but you have to be aware where the power lies.
Yeah.
I guess, if that makes any sense.
Oh, no, I totally follow you. I agree that no topic should be considered off limits, but at the same time, there's like a level of reason behind everything. You can't just jump in and I think the problem with the Daniel Tosh thing was just how he was pretty much saying this is rape and it's funny. It's like that's not good.
That's going straight for shock value, and shock value isn't funny. Like, to me, it's not funny because, like I said, like I said earlier, one of my biggest influences, one of the people I idolize so much, is Mitch Hedberg, and he wasn't a shock comic. He wasn't anything like that. He was clever. Like, one of my favorite jokes by him is, I want to get one of those maps where you put pins in it to show everybody where you've been, but then I realized I'd have to go to the 2 corners of the earth first. And I love that joke because it's so clever and it's so ridiculous. It's so ridiculous and it's so clever, and it's not shocking because shock value is not funny to me. Being clever is funny to me.
Nice.
Yeah. That's my opinion on it, anyways.
Oh no, I wholeheartedly agree. I think it has a lot of reason to.
Yeah, and then it just kind of goes back to the thing too, is that also like if he says that like the other thing that my roommate says for this is that it devalues what they go through. It's like, well, everything that people laugh at is a lot of times at somebody else's expense. Like, granted, like the thing with Mitch Hedberg, he's not really not experienced a lot other than the fact that he has pain from not being able to buy that map. Like, granted, but like everything else that people laugh at is pain. It's just different values of pain. Like, for the fact, like the grandmother jokes that I mentioned earlier, that was something very real that was born out of the pain that I felt for my grandparents dying. And so, people laugh at that. It doesn't devalue the pain that I went through. It just helps me cope with it. So I don't think that laughing at rape jokes devalues the pain that they go through. I think it's just something to help them cope. Like, granted, not everybody copes in the same way, but some people it'll help, some people it won't.
Everyone's got their own way of doing it.
Yeah, exactly.
And the way you got, share with other people, get to have a good time with everybody,
Exactly. I mean, yeah. That's the thing too, because granted, for me, it was a lot easier to cope with it because I had a lot more people laughing at it, and I was making people laugh at it, and I constructed it in a way that it was funny to other people, but seeing somebody talk about it and then having to laugh because of the way they constructed it, I don't know. Yeah. I guess that could be different, but at the same time, it's it's different people.
Yeah.
Different people.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of where to go here. Like I said, we covered a lot of stuff really quick.
Yeah. It's good stuff, though.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm definitely loving some of the new bits you're throwing out there, too. They're pretty interesting.
Thank you. I don't know. I kind of want to do... There was one joke I was really disappointed with that did not go as well as I wanted it to.
Oh, which one's that one?
It's I don't think you've ever heard it. It was the dog bit. I do a bit about my dog because this happened over Christmas. I was just sitting there, and my brother's got a dog. And this dog just turned 11 years old this year, and they bought it as a puppy. And I'm like, holy shit, this dog is still a virgin. Like, in dog years, this dog is an 11-year-old virgin. In dog years, that's a 77-year-old virgin. That sucks. And so it's like, how can I take this dog and get him laid? Because I want to be a good owner to this dog. And so it's like, well, what am I going to do? I'm going to take him to a breeder. And, breeders are, the worst pimps ever. Breeders put new meanings to the word bottom bitch. And, because, you go and I take my dog to the breeder, and there's a room in the back of the breeder's house where basically I can put $1 into a slot, and then a little screen door will rise up, and my dog can stick his nose through that door for 75 cents a minute and sniff other dogs. And like for some reason that joke doesn't go over as well. But I keep going because as Rodney Dangerfield said, be a tank. And so I keep going and I roll into it. And then it's like, so once my dog is done and he's had his sniffing fill, they come out and they take the dogs to me, and they have the dogs roll over and spread their legs. They're lifting up the dog's tail, showing me the dog's teeth. And I don't know who the breeder is trying to turn on anymore, me or my dog. But, and then it's like, and the thing that sucked too was that it cost like $3,000 to inseminate this dog, and my dog is still a virgin. And that never goes over as well as I like it to, and it sucks, but I keep going. And it's like, and I feel bad because my dog is a 77-year-old virgin, and I realize that he's starting to get some forms of sexual deviance. Like every time my girlfriend tries to put a bow on it, there goes his red rocket, and it's like, no, that's cross-dressing. That says in the Bible that is wrong. You can't do that. And so he's starting to cross-dress. He humps everything. And like he's even trying to hump the cat. And it's like, no, you can't do that. That's interspecies erotica. You can go to jail for that. And the worst part of it is every time I take him to Petland, I have to stop him because he makes a beeline to the puppy calendars. And like it sucks, and I love those jokes so much, but they never go over as well as I want them to.
That's a real shame. Those are all suck.
Like I don't know. Like I tried them up at Cedar Rapids and it didn't go, and I tried them down here at the yacht club, and the yacht club were a little more open to it, but like I've just never gotten the reaction that I wanted out of those jokes, and it makes me sad.
Maybe it's just the way you frame it or something. I don't know.
Maybe, I don't know. Maybe.
But no, I love them. I think they're great.
Well, thank you. Thanks.
Yeah. And going back to the one joke you had about the like wheelchair, like the handicap working with them, I was thinking something like, you know how they have like those like if you're like handicapped you can go to the front of the lines, you know, like big amusement parks like Universal too, so you can always like throw that in there too or something like that, like, you know, no waiting in lines here.
Yeah, that's true. You don't have to wait in lines. And the greatest part too is that like it's the greatest thrill ever because you have to dodge the other cars.
It's up the cars to a whole new level.
Exactly. And the great thing too is that it only costs you 75 cents a minute to be there.
Yeah, way cheaper than going to, say, Adventureland.
Yeah, I know. You can either ride down the ramp or you can let your dog sniff some other dogs. That's I don't know. Which would you rather spend the money on?
Oh, man. So many options.
Yeah. Fun stuff.
Alright, well, about 30 minutes. I think that's a pretty fair amount of stuff I can work with there for soundbite. I'll probably actually upload this to the channel, like the full version and the short version, just that way people can be like, hey, where's Shawn been for the past 3 months? Well, hey, here he is right now. You can shut the fuck up.
He's been writing stupid jokes about his fucking virgin dog.
But I'm looking forward to having you on the podcast, hopefully, this upcoming week or so.
Yes, hopefully Wednesday, unless, like, something horrible happens.
Unless you get your hours switched or something else catches.
Yeah, that always seems to happen. Darn those people.
Yeah. But, I mean, you know, looking forward to having you back on there at some point. Definitely for future weeks as well. And
yeah, definitely.
Good stuff.
Yeah.
But before I wrap this up here, so if people want to find out where your shows are at, like what are some big events coming up, or your usual stuff you do?
Well, there's still, like I said, almost every Monday night down at the Iowa City Yacht Club. The show starts at 10 at night, and it's $3 for somebody over 21. And the Yacht Club in Iowa City just got okayed to have minors there until 2 o'clock. So 19 and 20 years old can be there until the end of the show, but you gotta pay $5 for that. Otherwise, if you can't make it out to that, there's my YouTube channel, which is www.youtube.com/user /Team McGee Comedy, all one word. And you can see I haven't posted any new videos up there just because I'm way too nitpicky about the videos and I don't think any of them are good enough. Like the ones I have up there I thought were great when I posted them, but that was probably because I was still drunk.
and still probably new to the whole thing too.
Yeah, because like the first one that I have recorded that's live at the Yacht Club, at that point I had only been doing stand-up comedy for 6 months, I think. Yeah, it was definitely not a long time. And now we're pushing like a year and a half. So I don't know if I've just become more nitpicky about the things that I do or if it's just like, I don't know. But yeah. I don't know. Luckily, recently I've been going up earlier at the Yacht Club slot too.
That's good.
Because before they used to have me like feature or headline it on the nights, which was cool and it's a great honor and I love doing that. But like the thing that sucked was that like since the minors couldn't be there since back then they couldn't be there until midnight, they all left at midnight, which left some of the other comedians and then like 6 other people in the crowd. So if I get to go earlier, I get to go when there's still a crowd, which is better when I'm trying out new material. So maybe that's what would have happened with those dog jokes. They would have gone better if I had more people in the audience. I don't know. One interesting thing though was I had one person come up to me and tell me that my jokes went over their head. Like it was weird too, because like I was doing it was kind of a crappy bit, and I haven't done it since. Well, I don't know if it was crappy, but I was talking about how I can't have phone sex, and I'm awful at phone sex because like she's trying to like get me to talk and stuff like that, and I freeze up, and then the only thing I can remember is like very overly scientific things, like my phalanges are slowly passing your inner labia. I bend my phalanges at the third metacarpal at a 45-degree angle to hit what is known as the G spot. And I had somebody come up to me afterwards and tell me that joke was too smart for them.
I love that. That's awesome.
I don't know. I might try that one again. Just see if maybe I have a smarter crowd. I don't know. But yeah, that one was interesting. She's like, yeah, I had to ask my boyfriend what that meant. I'm like, did he show you? Is that... Just have him show you next time. It'll be much more fun.
No question.
Yeah. So that's... So yes, the Yacht Club every Monday night. I'm trying to do some... I've got a few things that are like months away. Like I'm trying to get into the comedy 10K competition up in Dubuque.
Oh, did you do that last year too?
I did that last year too, and I had a poor showing because I did that. Well, I didn't have a poor showing. I got a lot of good feedback on that, but like I did that 10K comedy competition before I had my first live video from the Yacht Club posted. So if that was 6 months in, this was only like 4.5 to 5. So I'm hoping to do a lot better this year, but we'll see.
And when is that? I'm actually curious.
That is gonna be the first week of May. It's like they try to have 96 comedians go and compete in that, and so they do it over 4 nights. So it's May 1st through the 4th, and then they'll have semifinals and finals on the 5th. So.
Actually, I'm hoping I can try to make that one, because I remember I tried to make it last time and help record some of that stuff, and I couldn't get it to work. But
sorry, but it was funny because they actually did end up recording that last year, and so I have the recording of it, which I refuse to watch because it's so awful. But yeah, they have the recording of it, which they said which took them like 6 months to get to me. Like we had it in May, and I think I got it just before Christmas. It was fun.
Yeah, but I do know if I do go and record it for you this time. I definitely want to get a better camera because I know the microphone on mine is absolutely garbage.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, now we were trying to record the podcast the other day out here, and we had to have this microphone recording with the camera because I remember when I was editing, you could barely hear the audio through from the camera feed, and I'm like, yeah, I'm glad I doubled that down just to be sure.
Because that would suck to lose everything like that, and then you just sync it up to the video.
Syncing is a lot easier than I thought it'd be because all I gotta do is just find a certain phrase or word being spoken. It's like, okay, click, there we go.
Yeah.
Done.
Yeah.
Harder to do the Let's Plays, though. Much harder to do.
Oh, I bet, because, like, you can't...
match it with, like, mouth.
Yeah, exactly.
Whenever I do those, I usually just, try to do 1, 2, 3, start button, and then it's like, that's the best I can do half the time.
Like, you and Mike are both sitting there. You guys are, like, the guys with the nuclear launch codes, and you each have your key. You gotta do it simultaneously.
I think the easiest one to sync up was definitely the Slender video, because all I had to do was just, find a frame where Slender showed up on the screen, sync it up when Nick was saying, oh shit!
Sync it up to the screaming. Yeah, we actually, we keep joking with Nick, because since Slender is coming out on, PlayStation or something, right?
Actually, I'm glad you brought that up, because I just bought the entry to the beta for the newest thing on the PC.
Yeah.
I'll actually show. Hey, there we go.
Alright, cool.
It's working. Okay, so I don't know what button I hit. Whatever.
Hey, it's a 3-horn.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I love mods for that game.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, that was great. So anyway, yeah, it's called Slender: The Arrival.
Okay.
And pretty much, I think I want to show it. Yeah, I'll show it. Why not? It's pretty much the same game as before. Same premise. You're in a dark forest, creepy woods, and you're supposed to go find notes and stuff.
Yeah.
Cool part is they have totally upgraded the look of the game.
Really?
And I think actually the full version comes out. Yeah, 26th. That's what it is. But yeah, this is what it looks like now.
Whoa.
Yeah, that is way different.
Yeah,
isn't it?
Very revamped graphics on that one.
Yeah. Let me show you around a little bit here because it's pretty interesting. Definitely got a bit of a head bob here.
Yeah.
A little bit of an outhouse. I played a little of this before just to make sure it runs on this thing all right. And it's not bad. No freezing up or anything, so I'm just wondering what the full version will be like when it comes out.
I don't know. Maybe, hopefully less bobbing of the flashlight.
Hopefully, unless I can change that in options, maybe.
I don't know.
Mouse inversion, sensitivity.
Doesn't look like
it. Oh, you can adjust difficulty?
Question mark?
Oh, that's it'll probably be in the full version.
Oh, darn! I was just hoping.
Or you have to beat it. I'm not sure, but for example, there should be a note somewhere in the general vicinity of where I am. Fuck. I have no idea where it is. Is that it? Yeah, there
Hooray!
it is. Found a note. As you can see, 1 of 8 pages collected. And let's see if I can find Slender real quick and get this party started. Come here, Slendy.
Here, you tentacled bastard.
Come and rape me. You want this supple flesh.
Shumagoth.
Let's see. But no, it's really cool because the way he the way the screen messes up when he is after you is a little different. Oh yeah, there it goes. Where is he? Crap, I had him. But yeah, I mean you can see it because it's more of a camera instead of just a person. So it gets all flickery and messed up like it's like Cloverfield or something.
So it's like the Blair Witch.
A little bit, yeah, which is pretty sweet. Then of course there's a rape house like in the other game.
Of course.
Which I went into, and that's where I stopped playing. Kind of fuck this place.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I like how there are different levels of terrain too.
Oh, God,
I remember the first one was just all flat.
I think all the old ones were flat, but this one they really upped it up towards hey, you got terrain, you got all this texture and everything. It's really good. I'm hoping that once we get you and Nick back in here for some game on Let's Plays, this will probably be one of the next ones we do.
I think Nick will probably kill you when you bring that one back up. He was so scared in the last one.
I actually put stuff on his wall saying, "Look what I bought, Nick."
Oh.
So,
yeah, we were talking about that today at work, and he's like, "Yeah, when they do that, I'm not coming. When they do that, I have art class or something."
I'm not gonna tell him what's happening.
Nice.
Yes. Because I don't even know when it's gonna happen. I'm still prepping for the Smash Bros. One, so because that is going to hopefully be in April at the very latest. So
nice. You and your brawl minus.
Yeah. Well, with a large group of people, I think it'll be more fun because I know we'll have 3 of us, obviously. Gary, if he decides to show up, he's one of the newer guys we've had join in. We have Nick. We have Tim. Sometimes.
Jaeger?
Yeah.
Okay.
Steven and other Steven. We have 2 Stevens now, apparently.
Yeah.
Who am I? Russell. We have at least 10 people-ish. So, I mean, we'll definitely have a good group for that.
Yeah, and I'm sure if I show up, Catherine will probably show up too.
Cool. And, yeah, that's kind of what's been going on. So, there's that.
Nice.
Yeah, aside from massive production and all that stuff, because I've fallen behind a little bit of the school shit coming up lately.
I guess. Me too.
Besides that, I've been going back to town a lot.
Thank God for spring break.
Yeah.
Coming up next.
Oh man, I have a much needed trip coming up this spring break. I'm looking forward to.
Yeah. Where are you going?
Well, Kat and I were heading up to Minnesota Monday through like Wednesday. So
Nice. Are you doing that with family or just the 2 of you?
Just the 2 of us.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Bow.
Hopefully. Well, I'm gonna edit this part out obviously.
Of course.
Yeah. But
or maybe not.
Maybe not. No, like it's been awkward after 3 years to try to get back together. It's kind of been.
Does he know yet?
No.
Oh, okay.
Well, see, when they started dating, he didn't tell me anything about it. And I'm a big believer in the bro code, where it's like, if you're gonna ask an ex-girlfriend or sister or anyone like that who's close to you out, you tell the guy first, let him know, or at least ask him or something like that. Didn't fucking even mention it. I had to find out through Josh, a mutual friend of ours. And I'm like, yeah, I'm not gonna tell him because I don't give a fuck about what he wants. So.
Yeah, I got you.
Yeah, but no, it's been a little weird just because, we haven't really done anything yet. Even though I've been back there twice, spent the night there twice. It's like, it's just really weird to try to do stuff. I'm like, just in my head, just not able to do it.
Oh, yeah. I know. That's. Yeah. Like, I had the same problem, like, when I first started, like, dating people, too, and it's just, like, I don't know.
And like, what's really weird is that we've actually talked about it, and she's even, said before, like, she's up for stuff. It's just that she wants me to be the one that, goes forward and pushes it. Like,
exactly.
I totally get that. It's just that, me here, head somewhere else entirely, just trying to piece things together. So it's like, really messing with me.
You just need to start listening with the other head.
Probably a little bit. A little bit.
Yeah. No, you just gotta.
But
you just gotta go for it, because really, at the end of the day, it's like, it's, because usually they want it to, unless they say otherwise.
I think my big thing is just I lack a level of confidence I need to be able to jump in and do that.
Yeah.
Which I have been working on for the past couple weeks, because, after we talked about it, it's like, you know what? I've got to do something about this, because I'm tired of just going in, ready and willing to do stuff, and then just not being able to do anything. So,
yeah.
And it's not even so much a matter of just, me wanting to do something. It's just a matter of I feel like I'm disappointing her, and I feel like I'm letting myself down a little bit. So it's like,
I got you. I understand that completely.
So.
Yeah.
Yeah, who knows? Hopefully this next week coming up, we'll definitely see things change a bit.
Yeah.
Definitely have to ask her if I can keep that in there. If not, then like, I don't mind putting it in there, but if she got an issue with it, I'll cut it out. So yeah, I guess that's it for that. Since this is going to go up on the YouTube channel at post edit, I'll go ahead and just say thanks for listening to this pseudo podcast sort of thing. Getting a little bit of a catch up on what Shawn McGee's been up to, a little bit of my personal life.
Yeah,
that you probably didn't need to hear. And as always, thanks for listening, guys. Hopefully we'll have Shawn on the podcast and Game On here in the next week or two.
Yeah, hopefully. All right, bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye. See ya.